Lawsalooza podcast, a legal comedy podcast where we discuss some of the most bizarre laws and strange court cases from around the world, all while sipping on some adult beverage that is related somehow to the theme of the week. My name is Miranda Dews.
I'm Shawna Vasilko.
And I'm Lindsey Reedy.
We are all three North Carolina attorneys, bringing you a unique twist on legal cases. However, do not construe anything in this episode as legal advice.
Or any episode.
Yes. No legal advice. Some common sense advice. Not legal advice. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Anchor, anywhere else you might happen to find us. You can like and follow our social media pages as well on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Lawsalooza Podcast.
Yay,
I have a lot
job.
of anxiety over saying that because I keep saying TikTok. We are not to be found there.
Maybe they could sponsor us.
Maybe. TikTok, if you're listening, we'll sponsor. You can sponsor us. We'll sponsor you. No, other way around. Okay.
Oh, man.
If you have a law, case suggestion, a compliment, anything else you want to send to us, you can reach out to our email. It's lawsaloozapodcast@gmail.com. Now for our next episode, where the theme is, for some reason, scarecrows, because it's spooky season. And I guess it's spooky season all month, or for the next couple months, I don't know. Anyways,
Fall themed spooky
scarecrows
season
today. So we'll have our usual 3-segment episode where we'll have the drink, the law, and then the case. So what's our law?
So, I did not do a law on scarecrows. I went more with, like, the harvest theme, like fall harvest. And so, it's actually, it's going to sound kind of funny, but this is a very serious issue in North Carolina about poaching ginseng.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's our case?
I actually have 2 cases. One's more of a story, and then the other one is an actual case about a scarecrow.
Okay, very good. So our drink this week is, well, first I have a little bit of trivia. It's not really related to the drink, but I learned this like last week, and I didn't know this before, so I'm going to ask you. How many words is sweet potato? Is it 1 word or 2 words?
2 words.
Yeah, 2, right?
False.
That's wrong.
In North Carolina, it's 1 word. So
Only in North Carolina?
Well, I guess so. In 1989, well, I have my notes on my phone, the National Sweet Potato Collaborators Group, they changed the spelling to 1 word, and they kept urging academia to do the same. And then in 2019, the North Carolina Sweet Potato Commission encouraged the State General Assembly to change it to 1 word. And this was mostly just to avoid confusion between North Carolina sweet potatoes and other sweet potatoes. So in North Carolina, guys, it's sweet potato, all 1 word.
But if my Google says, spell check, you're a dummy, then I'm going to change it to 2 words.
Then just be like, excuse me, Google, I'm in North Carolina.
We
This
do
is
it
how we
different here.
This is how we spell sweet potato here. So I thought that was interesting, and I tried to find a sweet potato themed drink to kind of go along with that trivia. But I did find some, but they all sounded terrible. So I also did find a Scarecrow drink, but it was like a bunch of different bourbon with like cinnamon, like the spice, just kind of sprinkled on top. So I was like, we're not going to do that. So I also, like Lindsey, decided to go with the fall harvest drink. So this is, I'm told, a very, very basic drink. So whatever, we can be basic. This is called the Pumpkin Spice White Russian.
Oh.
So I'm actually a fan of the White Russian. I don't know if this is going to be good, but it is Kahlua, it's vodka, and it's pumpkin spice creamer.
It smells phenomenal.
And it's rimmed.
It's rimmed. So yeah, it was supposed to have graham crackers on the rim, so I crushed up graham crackers with a little bit of cinnamon. I read a bunch of blogs, and they said to do it with water. Water didn't stick, so Shawna helped me put simple syrup, so I hope it doesn't affect the flavor. Lindsey, you may have a few extra bonus simple syrup drops in yours.
Honestly, I can't get over how good it smells.
It does. It smells like
Yeah.
fall, right? It smells like
Yeah,
pumpkin
I'm
pie.
so ready for
So
fall.
hopefully it tastes good. Anyways.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To the sweet potato. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. What do you guys
I do
think?
too. This is like a good drink to serve at Thanksgiving or like anytime you're
sitting
having like
around
a fall.
fire.
And I almost didn't do the graham cracker, but I think it
I'm
really
glad you
adds
did.
something to it. It's really good.
It tastes almost like a White Russian pumpkin pie.
Well,
I don't know how to
I really
explain
love
it.
the White Russian.
Yeah.
I think it's so good. And when I saw this, and I was like, is that all that's in a White Russian? And now I can make it at home.
Oh, I really like this one. This might be our favorite drink that we've
Really? Okay.
You are
I am
killing
killing
it
So
with the drink.
the Lawsalooza cocktail bar, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is
Coming soon.
yeah, be on the lookout.
Me and you got to step up our game.
I know. I feel like I haven't been getting. I haven't been allowed to do the drinks here of late because every time I do a drink, it's so
I
bad.
just want to eat the graham crackers off the.
Yeah, I know. It
That
does.
is
It gives
so
it
It really does taste like a pumpkin pie, though.
Yeah,
I
but
guess
the
it's the creamer, or the Kahlua. I don't know.
it's great.
Man, this
I
is
love
really good. That Kahlua was expensive too, so I'm glad
Yeah, I mean, it's
sprang for my
Well worth
husband
it.
went out to buy it. Thank you
Okay,
for
good job,
buying the
Van.
expensive one.
okay. I see you. Good job, man.
Yeah, I like
Okay,
this.
I'm a
This is
fan. This is something you can actually sit and sip on.
good. Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
I am definitely a fan.
I might make this again tonight at home.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Yes. Another
Well,
winner.
it is. It's a really nice sipping drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's, if you do want to make it at home, just so you guys
yeah.
know. And maybe we can start to, on our social media, putting the recipes in there
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
But
Good
this
idea.
it was 2 parts vodka, 2 parts pumpkin spice creamer, and then 1 part Kahlua. So I did on like the cocktail shaker thing where it has a little lid thing.
Yeah.
I did two lids full of vodka, 2 lids full of the creamer, 1 of Kahlua, and just mixed it all up and put an ice cube in it.
It's really
It's
good.
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 The recipe also said you could put whipped cream on top.
Oh.
And I was like that, but I thought that might be too sweet. I wasn't sure, but no, and should have definitely sprang for that too, with a little bit of graham crackers on top.
Oh, that would have been cute.
That would have been so
I
good.
would have questioned it too, though, but I think it would be really cool, a good add-on to the drink.
I'd end up getting it on my nose or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, maybe not so great for filming, but maybe good for just,
in general.
sipping when you're
Yeah.
not being filmed.
Probably not good for a podcast, but still, nonetheless. Well, like Miranda, I went off topic, and so instead of scarecrows today, we're doing scarecrows / harvest. So, I was looking for a law, like a North Carolina law to cover, and I actually came across this issue that I had never heard about before, but is a very serious issue for ginseng in North Carolina.
I didn't even know they grew that here.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It's like naturally grows up in the Appalachian mountains and things of that, just kind of in that geographical location. And law in 1866 was passed, and this is a funny law, and I'll tell you how it's kind of modernized and grown over time. But the law in 1866 was, in North Carolina, it's unlawful to dig in your neighbor's yard for ginseng from the months of April to September.
So other months you can dig in your neighbor's
Yeah,
yard. No
right.
issues.
There's
And
probably no
so-
ginseng left then.
Exactly. Well, that's why I was like, okay.
Can you dig in your
why?
neighbor's yard for other things that aren't ginseng?
That's a great question. I literally could not find any
Imagine like people out in your yard digging around.
what? It makes no sense.
Trespassing.
Like,
There's
so
another law for that.
apparently the harvest season is September 1st to December 31st. So I'm like, okay, would you be digging in your neighbor's yard when it's not harvest season, but still why your neighbor's yard? Like, I'm confused on the neighbor's yard part.
Yeah,
For those of you who don't know what ginseng is, it's commonly used as an herb in traditional medicine, especially Chinese medicine. It's native to eastern North America. It can be found in much of the eastern and central United States and part of southeastern Canada.
I didn't even think it was grown in the United
I
States.
didn't think so either.
So I knew it was used in like Chinese
Yeah.
medicine.
Yeah,
so I thought it was
same. I thought it
grown
was
over
like-
there.
Grown in Asia mostly, but I guess learning all kinds of things today.
Oh yeah, and so it can be used to increase your energy, have sharper cognitive function, anti-inflammatory, can treat erectile dysfunction, flu prevention, and lowering your blood sugar. So there's a lot of good health benefits that come from using this this herb. So now here's an interesting thing that I did not know. This apparently is a heavily poached plant because you can get up to $200 per pound on the black market for fresh ginseng.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start growing it.
Or just digging in your neighbor's yard.
Yeah, but not between April and September.
Got it.
Yeah, there's a hard time frame on that. And so, because it's so heavily poached, it's becoming more endangered, apparently, in North Carolina. So they protect the plant. It's monitored by the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission and the North Carolina Department of Agriculture in cooperation with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. So they're all working together to ensure this plant does not go extinct. So some of the more modern regulations, for example, is it's unlawful to possess ginseng roots and ginseng berries, aka seeds, at the same time, which I don't fully understand.
Yeah,
The roots and
weird.
the berries.
Yeah. And no permit is needed to grow ginseng, to be harvested only for its roots. So there's like a bunch of little weird laws around it. But the old law that we talked about earlier about it being unlawful to dig in your neighbor's yard for it, for that set time frame has changed over the years. So now it's changed to collect ginseng from another's land, the collector must have written permission from the landowner, signed, dated, and valid, no more than 180 days. The document must be on the collector's person when they are digging on that land. And in national forests, the district offices are responsible for such permits. And so this is actually a very heavily regulated thing. And taking ginseng from another's land with intent to steal without the written permission is a felony.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
it's endangered.
because it's endangered. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's such like a plant that brings in a high profit, so they're trying to crack down on prosecuting it. But
Interesting.
now, at first when I came across these laws, I was like, "There's no way these are actually enforced." They are in fact enforced. And so, for example, in 2014. These laws actually came into play when a ginseng root poacher.
So it's just the root that's really important.
Yeah.
Or the berries to make more plants.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the root poacher was sentenced to jail time for the illegal harvesting of ginseng roots. Apparently, he had been harvesting them in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and was caught with them. And he was sentenced to serve 5 months and 15 days in jail for harvesting them. He had 83 American ginseng roots on his person, and he only got that prison sentence because he pleaded guilty to it.
Interesting.
And this was his 4th conviction of poaching ginseng roots.
Okay.
He ain't learned his lesson.
No. There was apparently several other cases, but another one I read about, this guy had it was like 280 roots on his person, and he had to serve jail time, and he had to pay a $1,000 fine.
Wow. Okay.
So they take this very seriously for a root. Which,
like a carrot.
Yeah, it's
Valuable carrot.
apparently law enforcement rangers estimate that they seize between 500 and 1,000 illegally poached ginseng roots every year.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Very serious.
so I was a little shocked. I certainly see the health benefit, but it's a lot of regulation for a plant. So
I wonder why it's so endangered. Like, just plant some.
black market
I guess.
is what it's like. It sounds like.
Huh.
So
Give me some little ginseng seeds and I'll plant some.
yeah, I'll have some in my backyard, and I'll give you written permission to come dig for them.
Yeah,
I'm
somebody
not
else
your
wants to do
neighbor.
the work.
Yeah.
I'm not your neighbor though, so I can just kind of
Well, maybe you gotta define neighbor.
dig with
Yeah.
impunity.
What does neighbor mean? That's ambiguous.
The person who lives next door to you.
Is that the legal definition?
It's the common sense. It's not the biblical definition. So if they're going by biblical
See?
definition, everyone is your neighbor.
Exactly. So you are her neighbor. Even not right here, you're still her neighbor. Well, I discovered that the Scarecrow theme was probably my idea, and
It was your idea.
it's a
Yes.
great, fun fall topic. It's not
Till
so
we can't
easy.
find
It was the first thing you threw out when fall theme was suggested. You were like, scarecrows!
And both of you were like, okay.
No, we were both very confused.
Yeah, I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know. And I will say, I could not find any laws, unsurprisingly, on scarecrows.
Well, they might ought to make some.
They really should. Or maybe I should have talked about the lack thereof. Maybe
we really need Scarecrow.
Maybe we should have talked about the policy behind needing them. I don't know.
Well, you need them to keep your neighbors out of your yard from poaching your ginseng.
There you go. We wrapped it all together.
There we go.
Love it.
Just came full circle.
I did find Scarecrow Cases, though.
Okay.
But it just so happens that everything was from the early 1900s.
I feel like that checks out.
So maybe scarecrows aren't as popular today. I don't know. But I did find a couple cases, so I want to tell you two stories. One is more of a story than a case, and the other one is definitely a case. So first I want to take you to the year 1916 in Wisconsin. You got to say that.
Wisconsin.
Several passerbys of the Ingle cornfield were so impressed with the scarecrow in the field and how it was erected that they decided to stop by the Ingle home to congratulate the homeowner. And
Was it like a dead body? Is this a murder case?
They wanted to find out.
Oh no!
They wanted to find out how the gentleman constructed the scarecrow and how they got it up in the tree and everything.
Up in the tree?
Yeah, because it was a cornfield, so they had to put it high up. So
I thought they just put it on like a little post.
Well, there was a big old tree in the yard.
Oh, good grief.
So they went and they knocked on the door, and Mr. Ingle's wife answered, but he was not home. Days passed by, and the scarecrow just remained in place, fully intact, and word started to spread around town about how wonderful the scarecrow was, and how Albert Ingle had erected it on his farm, and just what a wonderful job he had done.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to like this.
Eventually, one curious neighbor rode out to the field to inspect the scarecrow up close for himself.
Oh no, you should never do that. Never inspect a scarecrow.
In a cornfield, right? Like, that's where all the bad stuff happens.
Everything bad happens in the cornfield.
Isn't there a movie like that where they have like dead bodies as
I think that's like I think that's
Children
like,
of the Corn?
Yeah,
is
maybe
that
that's
it?
it.
Oh no, I don't watch horror movies.
So he rode out to the cornfield, and he noticed that the scarecrow wore a wide brim hat. But when the neighbor got closer, he soon discovered that the amazing scarecrow was actually Albert Ingle himself.
Oh no, I called it.
You did. You ruined it.
I don't like this.
The authorities were called, and they ruled it a suicide. Albert Ingle had hung himself from a tree in his cornfield while wearing his wide brim hat. The hat concealed the features beneath it, and it wasn't until someone got closer that they could tell that it was an actual person. So he hung himself and the hat stayed right in place. It was a good hat.
Oh, good grief.
Can you imagine all of the townspeople talking about the wonderfully erected scarecrow on the property, only to come to find out
swaying or dangling?
Well, they thought that what was so great about it is that it would sway and move and scare all the crows away.
I guess like 1916 was a more innocent time or something.
I guess. But yeah, they thought it was great because it was like scaring all the birds away. I would have thought it was start to attract the birds eventually.
Exactly.
But it was actually the property owner that hung himself. And the town were like talking it up about how amazing this scarecrow was.
This took a very dark twist.
Very
quickly.
I don't like that.
I'm sorry. The next one's not so dark.
Okay.
I thought we would end on a
That's
better
that's
note.
It's like watching a horror movie and then turning on Disney afterwards.
Exactly, which is what I have to do every time I see something vaguely scary.
Yeah.
Like if it's like a trailer for a horror film comes on while I'm watching TV, I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. Nice little palate cleanser.
Yeah. Time for Disney. Okay.
I guess this is kind of a palate cleanser then.
Oh no! Shawna!
No, it's not death. No death. No death.
Something weird.
Why is it gotta be weird if I'm the one
Because
telling
it's you, Shawna. You're the one that talked about the goat marriage in our marriage podcast episode.
It's not anything like that, I swear.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Now I'm gonna take you to the year 1911 in sunny California.
Okay, an even more innocent time.
Yes, even more innocent.
Okay.
A lady by the name of Mary Hammond lived next door to a gentleman named Luigi Lugo. Mary and Luigi were neighbors, but they were not neighborly at all.
Oh, did she steal his ginseng?
That's some fighting words.
No, she didn't steal his ginseng, but Mary despised Luigi. The case details did not say why there was such a hatred between the parties, but it did state that Mary could not even stand Luigi's face. Just seeing him sent her into a rage.
Interesting.
So, Luigi, being the spiteful neighbor that Mary believed him to be, put up a scarecrow in his yard.
Did he have a farm? Or he just wanted us?
It didn't really describe, like, what kind of property they lived on.
Was it, like, facing her house? Was it, like, right on the property line?
But I'm assuming it wasn't, like, a subdivision like we know of these days, because it was 1911. So I foresee, like, larger properties where maybe a scarecrow wouldn't be so weird to be in your yard.
It's better if it's, like a suburban neighborhood. It's just,
Right.
like, scarecrow. But I guess people do
And it's
that
like
now.
April or something, not.
Yeah, not appropriate harvest time.
I didn't know the exact time frame, but he put up the scarecrow in his yard. But this wasn't any ordinary scarecrow.
Oh gosh.
This particular scarecrow looked exactly like Luigi himself.
That's a level of petty I aspire to be.
Upon seeing the scarecrow, Mary was infuriated. She walked over to Luigi's yard, grabbed the scarecrow, and I quote, brained it, beheaded it, and tore it limb from limb.
Dang. Okay. That's aggressive.
Very. The scarecrow was dismembered. However, Mary was arrested. Any guesses to what she was arrested for?
Murder. Attempted
Destruction
murder.
of property?
Nope. She was arrested for battery.
Battery?
What?
An inanimate object?
Battery. She was arrested for battery of the scarecrow that looked like Luigi.
She didn't batter him. To be clear, she only battered the scarecrow.
She only brained it, beheaded it, and tore it limb from limb.
Okay, that's not battery though. How
That's
did they
right.
explain that one?
Yeah. Did she get convicted?
You're jumping ahead.
Sorry, there's so many questions. I have so many questions.
That's right. She was arrested for battery upon the scarecrow. The
Was that
Luigi
a crime
lookalike.
at the time? Battery of a scarecrow specifically?
She got charged with it.
Okay.
What the heck?
So Mary was eventually hauled in front of a judge who was to determine her fate, and the judge ruled that since this was a bloodless murder, that Mary should be set free.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, that adds up.
You think?
Yeah. No one knows if Mary and Luigi ever called a truce on their neighborly hate for one another.
Probably not. I can't imagine it was resolved after that.
Yeah.
I bet he didn't.
Did he
make
get
any more
another
scarecrows?
You don't think he did?
No.
I would go out if someone did that to me and put a whole army of scarecrows in my yard then.
I don't know. If I just saw her beat the ever-loving crap out of the scarecrow, I don't know if I'm testing that woman. I don't think I'm moving.
It might not have been as easy to move in 1911.
No, that's true.
Probably like family property or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I found the actual newspaper articles that link to both of these stories, so I will post to those so you can actually see the little newspaper clipping from the time. There wasn't a lot of details on it. I think it's just kind of funny how she could be even charged with battery
Right.
Yeah.
of a scarecrow and arrested for it. Trespass, maybe.
Destruction of property.
Yeah, those make sense.
But actual battery of a scarecrow, not so much.
No.
Maybe it's because it looked like him so much.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. Could you do assault with that?
No.
No.
Or
It's
could you
not a
do,
person.
I don't know.
There were several other stories about scarecrows, but they all involved dead bodies. So I was trying to find one that
Thank you
didn't
for not.
involve. We only had one dead body. I didn't think we needed two, but
We definitely didn't need to.
it was often the scarecrow was mistaken for a dead body, or a dead body was mistaken for a scarecrow, and I'm like, they're straw. Why are you people thinking?
Because
They're
I
people,
guess
or
they made
vice
them.
versa.
Maybe at the time they made them more realistic than today.
There
You know,
was-
like today when you see it, it's like obviously a scarecrow. Like it has straw poking out of its hand. Maybe like because of so many dead bodies, whoever is in charge of scarecrows was like, we need more straw involved, like visible straw. You know?
Make this
Yeah.
easier.
Visible straw instead of making them looking like actual bodies.
I don't know, you know, because like things back then were like way creepier than they are now. right? Like, you've seen those old greeting cards from, like, back in the day, and it's, like, terrifying.
Or the dolls that people used to have.
Yeah, the dolls
the
are really
dolls.
scary. Or, like, I saw something about, like, old-timey Halloween masks, like, for trick-or-treating children, and they were, like, straight up horrifying. And
Yeah,
so maybe like, back then,
look like people.
the scarecrows were way scarier than they are today.
But I saw both stories, like, people walking along and they're like, oh, that's a scarecrow, and they get upon it and it's like a dead person, and then the other way around where, oh, that's just a scarecrow, but it's actually a dead person. Maybe people just don't want to believe it's a dead person and always try to go for the nicer image.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, that's probably why scarecrows look like, happy and fun now. And not like...
I never really understood
actual
how
human.
the scarecrow would scare the birds
Yeah,
away.
because I don't think crows are not scared of people.
Well, you can like tie stuff to them that dangles and sways, like on the
but-
arm part.
Whenever you see, at least like whenever I see pictures of scarecrows, there's like crows sitting on the arms.
Yeah.
Like, they're not... And crows are not scared of people. Like, a crow will straight up attack you. It does not care.
Well, you're
That's
back
what
on
we
your
needed, is
you're
a
back
little
on your
crow.
bird train.
Have I talked about birds before?
Yeah, you've talked about birds. Literally, yes. In the oh gosh, what was it? The prison one where the
Oh, yeah, the
yeah,
drones.
eagles.
Yeah.
Yes, and then the parrot. You always get so excited about the birds.
Birds are really cool, okay?
I love it. Every time you just get so excited. It's the best.
She's passionate about all topics.
True.
But more birds, please.
We need to have just strictly a birds episode.
Oh my goodness, we could do a birds episode.
I'm actually up for that.
This is a good
Only
idea.
if you start by quoting the Raven. No?
I love the rain.
I figured you would.
Big fan of Poe.
Well, those are the two stories I have for you. So it's a shorter one this week because, contrary to my initial thoughts, there's not a whole lot out there about scarecrows. What's wrong with me?
No, it's. I mean, it is what it is.
Wait, our next week we have ghosts. So
Ghosts, continuing with the spooky season theme.
maybe send us some ideas if you find anything. Cause
Yeah, please
who
do.
knows what's out there about them? We don't yet.
I have some good ideas.
Well, I just got to do the drink, so I won't flop there. I'll find something good.
Ghost strip.
Maybe
There's
you'll be
gotta
invisible.
I have to find the laws, either against ghosts or for ghosts.
There's definitely
ghosts
ghost
to
laws
abide by.
out there somewhere in the world.
There's
There's
gotta
definitely
be.
ghost laws.
Yeah, just need to find them. Laws that the Ghostbusters abide by. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, there definitely is, because they got all those shows about, those people doing the ghost whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't watch those shows because they scare me.
Jason watches
like
them
the
all
aliens.
the time.
I'm scared of, like, everything, okay?
And passionate about birds.
Passionate about birds, scared of everything else.
Oh, boy.
I used
Well.
to be scared of birds.
You've come a long way.
I've come a long
You've
way.
come a long
Not
way.
anymore.
You've faced your fears. Way to go.
We just got to help her face her fears about aliens.
Yeah. We tried. We tried to set Bob behind her on last week's episode.
And she was not thrilled. So if you haven't listened to that one, go check out Bob. Well, thanks for listening to us again.
Yep. I was thinking about birds. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever else you happen to find us. Please let us know, because we may not know about it. And we'll see you guys next week for an exciting episode about ghosts.
Cheers to
Cheers
birds!
to birds!
Not even our episode
Bye.
topic.